All right.
Everybody, please forgive me. It's been crazy today. Rochelle already knows we spoke like 3-4 times today.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We like to always try and start on time. I know there's quite a few other people who will be joining us tonight, but we're going to move along, and I'm going to share my screen. Just a second. All right, guys, so welcome. So glad to have you on tonight as part of our Debt Weapon or Velocity Banking program. We are so excited, as usual, every Friday night at 8 p.m. We're here and we're talking about a variety of topics. And tonight is going to be an exciting night like usual. So I welcome all of you for our first time people that are here on tonight. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions. We'll be more than happy to answer, any and all of your questions. So we'd like to always start and ask you to unmute yourself, and we'd like to begin with our declaration. So I'd like for each of you to repeat after me. If you can see this on your screen, I'll start it and you guys follow it, okay? This is my life.
This is my life.
I declare today my mindset has changed.
I declare today my mindset has changed.
I am clear about my path.
I am clear about my path.
I am debt free.
I am debt free.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I control my spending habits.
I control my spending habits.
I am not a consumer.
I am not a consumer.
I am an investor.
I am an investor.
I like how y'all are saying that. My money works for me.
My money works for me.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
I am financially sexy.
I am financially sexy.
I won't give up.
I won't give up.
Come on now, start yelling out. So my name is Rosie Jones Clark, and I am one of the coaches and membership chair. So if there's anyone who's interested in becoming a part of this wonderful family at DeMary Funding, you can reach out to me at rosie@demaryfunding.com. One of our other coaches is Renee Allen, or Antoinette is her name, but we always call her Renee. And you can reach out to her at renee@demaryfunding.com. Our other coach is Miss Danielle Pollard. You can reach out to her at danielle@demaryfunding.com. So I want to talk to you briefly about what velocity banking is. It's actually a strategy that we use and we get lines of credit to pay off debts faster than your traditional method. It helps you to quickly become debt-free as well as boost your credit score. So basically, the word velocity is just what we do here. It's accelerating quickly, paying off your debt. So that's what we are here to help you learn how to do. Initial concerns that many people may have about velocity banking is it's a total new concept. And yes, it is, and it may seem strange at first or a little bizarre, but if you give it an opportunity, you'll find that it is one of the best debt weapons around that can help you to quickly get out of debt, or methods, I should say, to help you get out of debt. The whole process doesn't fully make sense to me, some folks may say. And yes, it doesn't, because it is something new. If you've never done it before, if you never heard of it before, it is certainly a new process, and it may not make sense, but you will get it if you stick with the program. Will it actually help me? We have many people on here tonight who can raise their hand and unfathomably say, yes, 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 this program definitely does help us. If it's so good, why haven't I heard about it? Well, I have no idea. I didn't know about it until I knew about it. And once I found out, I was one happy camper, and I've been working and using this program ever since. I'm nervous to make a dramatic financial change. Listen, it's okay to be nervous about something that's new. I would say that that's part of being human, right? That's part of who we are. And if we don't have those sort of feelings and reservations, then there's something wrong with our, emotional side, right? And so you should be a little nervous about it because it is something new. However, you shouldn't be nervous in the sense of being nervous and being handicapped by that nervousness. Okay, so be nervous, but move forward. Will I make a mistake and make my financial situation worse?
Where are you?
Listen, I'm sure that there are people who are on the program tonight who can vouch for that. Certainly, you can get into the program, things are going really well. And like we do as humans, sometimes we revert back to what we knew previously. And when that happens, we can put ourselves in particular, situations that could cause us to be back into financial debt. The good news is, though, once you've learned velocity banking, you can jump right back on the horse and start all over again. So, if you've created some debts or something that you've done, you will know how to get back on the horse and start riding in the right direction. The important thing here is trust, and that's trusting the process. So, we can give all of the ideas and philosophies and, various ways of how to get out of debt, stay out of debt, and use velocity banking. But if you don't trust the process, then you'll find that you'll remain in the situations that you were in. So trust the process. It will work. Trust your coach. They're there to assist you, to help you along the way, to get you to the point where you know how to do it yourself. You're confident in your finances. You're confident in your numbers, which is, really important. Your financial numbers are so important. So you'll become, much more confident as you move forward in this. Trust yourself, because as you trust yourself, you trust your coach, and you trust your process. Trust yourself. It's important to know and feel that you can make decisions, financial decisions, right? Buying a home or buying a car or investing in real estate, right? Knowing that you're in a good position, that you can begin to do those things. Make a decision about how you're going to do it. Plan it out from A to Z and say, listen, I'm going to do this, but I know how to pay it off without giving the banks or someone else a whole lot of interest, right? Giving them back a lot of money. You'll be able to trust yourself as you begin to work more and more into this program. The last thing here that I like to say about trust, and for me, it's really important. And, whoever you believe or whatever you believe, I truly believe in Christ and I trust God. So not only do I trust God, I trust Sabor as my coach, right? But I have to trust myself, but most importantly, trust in God, who I believe leads me and guides me. Even when I'm not sure about myself, I go to Christ and hopefully I get up feeling a lot better about whatever decisions I have to make, knowing that he'll lead and guide me. So trust in whatever it is or whoever your deity is, trust in that. So DeMary Funding Company is really about creating generational wealth. And what is generational wealth? generational wealth is wealth that gets transferred from one generation of a family to the next. And it's been going on for ages, right? We have not been doing it like we should. Not that, we don't leave things behind or we don't teach our children, our grandchildren how to get wealth. But the type of wealth that we're talking about is real wealth, right? That most of us have not seen yet, excluding Sabor. But it may consist of valuable assets such as cash or real estate, securities, or ownership of a family business, right? So that generational wealth, it's about all of us knowing what it is that we have, setting up our businesses in a way that it doesn't leave a burden to the next generation, right? Real estate, setting it up in a way that it does not leave a burden in the lives of our family members, but it becomes a blessing. And that's what, Sabor teaches in this program. Debt weapon program, Velocity Banking will certainly help us to create generational wealth. Sabor Al Demary, who is all of our mentor, and he is the founder of Demary Funding. He and his beautiful wife, Joy, who's always very supportive of him and everything that he does. But he's a husband, a brother, a mentor. He's a real estate investor, has over 29 properties, approximately 1.7 million in assets. He's an accredited investor, legally allowed to trade securities between financial institutions. He's an acquisition manager of a $40 million fund in Texas, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. He's known as the mortgage note broker in the world of mortgage lenders. He brokers approximately 2.5 million in his businesses. I don't know why that's cut off there, but Velocity Banking, Credit Services, and he does a whole lot more. So I'd like to present to you tonight, Sabor. He's going to talk to all of us about what it is to be financially sexy. We say it, and we said it a few moments ago, but what is it to be financially sexy? Sabor?
Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight?
Awesome. You guys unmute yourself.
Yes.
Woo!
Thank you for your introduction, bro. We never get to thank y'all coaches. I thank y'all for that. Yes, y'all always make it better for us. Any good news that's coming around table this week before we get started on tonight's topic? Because I don't want to hold everybody up. I know Rochelle, if those that's not in the private Facebook group, I know Rochelle, she made it, her and her husband both made it to the 800 club on the credit scores, a little bit over.
Yeah.
Go Rochelle and Armando.
No.
Yeah.
They signed up for a Navy Federal account, got the account set up, and they also got their flagship credit card at 25K. So
yay.
Proud of y'all, proud of y'all.
Oh, now.
Just like Sabor says, just do it, right?
Yeah.
Don't think about it, just do it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Welcome to the 800 Club. Anybody else got any good news this week?
This is Glenn and Lachelle. We just started. We just joined the Debt Weapon program. Woohoo! That's our good news.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. We promise we'll get you here. Welcome to the family. So you're just starting. So can you share with us what your current goals are? Like short-term and long-term goals?
Well, we have my short-term goal is I just have a lot of student loans, and then there was a little time in my life where I had some hiccups, and so I need to get rid of some of the old stuff, just have it, do whatever I need to do to have that come off my report. And I'm already building, I have some cards, I'm already doing the, only spending on my credit card, but I don't have any bad debt under my profile, but I have a lot of student debt, but I heard you say that was a little different. And then for Glenn, he holds our mortgage, so we'll be working on paying that off. our cars are paid off. And then we have 2 businesses that we want to build business credit for.
Nice.
Yeah, one of them's been in existence for a year. The other one's over 10 years. So we're ready to get some.
Was that you that I spoke to before with Willie Locks?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep,
well, welcome to the family. I remember you guys. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Appreciate y'all. Anybody else got any good news? And we're basically gonna get y'all there, I promise you. Anybody else?
Well, this is Woody. Currently, like what was it? Last month, my Equifax went up about 50 points from like 567 to 624.
Woo!
Congratulations. Woo,
Yes,
woo.
congrats.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you.
A movement is a movement.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you.
I always love talking to you and your wife, Woody. We always busted up on the phone. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you too.
Yeah, good time.
Laugh. In these times, you got to be able to laugh, guys.
Yes, yes. Anybody else have any good news?
Hi, everybody. This is Sonia Tina. I'm Danielle's sister. And I just wanted, this is my first time coming in as well, and I'm really happy to be here. I know a little bit about financial things. I went to school for finance, and so I'm in the 800 club already. My husband is in the house. He's napping with Nanny. He's under the weather, but I'm trying to get to the 850, and I'm trying to get to the 850
You trying
club.
to max it
And I
out?
get to the 850 club, you know, and I want to get more into learning more about investing in real estate and stocks more,
Mhm.
and just learning more how to make my money work for me instead of working for my money so much. You know what I mean? So I'm just those are a few things we're trying to do. Of course, we want to pay off our home soon. We're also looking into we want to buy a vacation home within the next year. So that's one reason that we're trying to get to the 850 club, because we want to get the lowest interest rate that we can, you know, possibly get, you know, and so.
Well, just some free game. I'm not sorry to cut you off. Anything over 740 is actually excellent credit. So
Mhm.
you want to learn how to leverage that right now so to get those investment properties that you need. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you want to look for banks that have products and services. I love credit unions, but you definitely want to look for banks or credit unions that have products and services that are going to get you those. Because anything over 740, you're golden, real honestly. You already own your own property. You already know how to leverage it because you had to use your credit to buy your own property, right? So now you just need to switch the game, learn the game how to buy investment properties, doing the same thing you did with your primary. But yes, it is very simple.
Do you know anything about like federal loans and banks? As I worked, like when we bought our home, I wasn't a federal employee, but now I am. So I'm trying to really take advantage of anything that's available for federal civilian employees that that we can use as far as buying real estate. And a lot of it seems to be just for first time home buyers and stuff. I don't see a whole lot.
No, you have a lot for you guys. Actually, you have your 203K loan. But I can sit down and talk to you later on about it. I don't want to hold everybody up.
Yeah,
But you do have a
get me excited.
Yeah, but you do have a 203K loan, and it's actually give you a much lower, cheaper rate being a federal employee. 203K loan is basically you find a property that needs rehab. They would actually give you the loan for that mortgage and also cover your rehab cost at the rehab cost is like 1.25 right now.
Oh, wow.
So that you'll borrow that money and you'll borrow whatever the primary interest rate that qualifies you for your current your current credit profile. But the 203K back loan is like 1.2 something for your rehab. So and it's basically one loan, but it's two different products and services in one for federal employees. But we can talk about it later on.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
I'm excited already.
But you can Google it, 203K loan.
Okay.
I appreciate you. Anybody else got any good news? All right. So
I got one.
Oh, who that be?
Yeah. I'm almost at the 800 on my both my Equifax and TransUnion at 797 right now.
Woo-hoo. I
All
love
right,
it. I love
Brian.
it.
Go, Brian.
Ryan has some news to share with the group too about, I forgot, I think it was maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we were discussing something on a call. And I told you need to make sure you bring that up to the group.
Sabor, do you know you're sharing your screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Ryan, do you remember that conversation me and you had about 2 weeks ago? I was saying, make sure you bring it up to the group so everybody can have this information.
And we talked about
I know. I know everybody calls me all the time. I apologize. I didn't mean to put you on the gun.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, but if you remember, just let me know.
Well, I think one of them was I learned from one lender that I was talking to that a lot of lenders are starting to you start to know which credit bureau is gonna be used when you apply for loans.
Yes. That's what it was.
Especially with the big banks based upon your location. I was told that if you're on the East Coast, majority of the time they're gonna use Equifax when you apply for loans and credit cards. If you're on the West Coast and Midwest is TransUnion, and anywhere up north is gonna be Experian.
I got you. I think you went out on this, but yeah, they're basically, anytime you apply for loans now, you're gonna know what credit bureau they actually pull it from. Going to that, I actually have on my screen, I know we talked about it before. For people that's new, there are 6 secondary credit bureaus that most people don't know about. Of course, everybody knows your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, but there are 6 secondary credit bureaus that collect pertinent information. It's like the credit, back in the days, how credit got started is that they would go to your neighbors and ask your neighbors, how is this person? How do they pay their bills? They would collect information like that. That's the history of how credit bureaus got started. So there's actually still 6 secondary credit bureaus that collect pertinent information about you that most of us is not even aware of. And you have to lock these credit bureaus down, especially if you're trying to dispute negative items, collections, those type of things, because they'll still have access to that, even though you ask them to verify. How are they verifying? They say they verify through E. E meaning electronically, meaning they're looking at these 6 secondary credit bureaus to verify this information. If they're not frozen, you need to put a freeze on them. But anyways, we had a meeting previously on these. I just want to bring these back up because me and Brian was having a conversation and several other people asked me about these. So if you taking notes tonight, I'm going to leave them up here real fast for you to take notes. I'm not going to go over them tonight. I just want to leave them here briefly so everybody can be aware of them. And I'll give a quick summary. The first one is check systems. Check systems basically goes over all your banking previous history. Like if you had any NSFs, check fraud, say you went and opened up a checking account and overdraft that and you close the account but paying off that overdraft fee, check systems collect that information about you. So if you go to open it.
We can't see it, Sabor. You're unquestioned here.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I'm on the wrong screen then. Give me 1 sec. Thank you for stopping me. Share. It should be on that one. Can you see it now?
No. Oh, yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. I was on the wrong screen. So
is that large enough for everyone to see?
Is it large enough, everybody?
No. Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. That's good. That's good.
All right. So I'm sorry about that, y'all. So we have check systems. If you have any overdraft fees that go in collection and they collect banking information, they report to credit bureaus any kind of times you have accounts that you apply for accounts, reasons why you was denied, open accounts, close accounts, reason why bank accounts were closed. We talked about a young lady that opened up a Navy Federal account off our recommendation and they froze her account because she had opened up a different, she had another bank and she had an overdraft fee. She closed the account and never paid the overdraft fee. So, those type of things. So check systems collect And then you have clergy. Clergy maintains a database of like your check writing history. I don't think a lot of people do it nowadays, but I remember when I was growing up, we would go to the grocery store, my mom, and as soon as she go to the register, pull out a checkbook and start writing the check out. So back then, a lot of people do check fraud. Not that they really committed check fraud, they just have enough money in their checking account to pay that bill. You know, but most people, older people, use checks. I don't think a lot of people use checks, but clergy collects, you know, check writing history, and those type of things on that. So, and then you have Innovis, and they are one of the 4th credit bureaus. They basically do identity. They do identity fraud. Anytime you have to call in on a credit card, that's normally who you're calling into to verify your information. If you ever try to do Experian or Equifax or TransUnion, the annual one, and you get that, I think it's 6 questions now. It used to be 10 you had to answer. That's what they are the ones that are doing the check on that. Okay, so any type of, you also have any type of, you know, non-credit informations like rent history, mortgage, magazine subscriptions, utility bills, annual credit reports, you know, all types of stuff like that they do. And then we have Clarity. Clarity is owned by Experian. They collect, you know, again, they collect non-traditional information like payday loans, installment loans, title loans, check cashing services, rent to own. So you go buy furniture or rent to own, you know, they collected this information. So you're thinking that this information is not out there, it's actually out there, especially they're being owned by Experian. You know, sometimes you get denied, but what I get denied for? You know, you don't know why you get denied. CoreLogic, I think CoreLogic closed down 1 branch. There are actually 2 branches of CoreLogic. Again, they do the same thing. They do subprime lending products. Most was not Credit One, not Capital One, but it try to look like Credit One, Capital One. Credit One uses them to check when you apply for your credit cards. Some other type of subprime lender. Subprime just basically means anybody that have bad credit, anything under a 560 is considered subprime. Even if you get to a 640, you can still be considered subprime. And then the other one right here, just for mortgage lending and auto lending. Sometimes people are like, well, Sabor, I applied for an auto loan. My FICO score, my credit score said I'm 800. But when they go apply, their credit score is a little bit lower. This is one of the credit bureaus they're pulling from. So your score is going to be much lower because they're only using your mortgage and auto information, not your credit cards and all that stuff like that. So a lot of people don't understand about this credit bureau, especially when they go apply for something. And lastly is, of course, everybody knows I speak about this all the time. I asked you to freeze this, but before you freeze this one, order your free LexisNexis report. I promise you that report is about this big, and it's like it goes all the way back to your grade school, your addresses, everything. It's crazy, the type of information they collect upon you on this one right here. But not only that though, anybody have any judgments, any kind of court orders? You know, right now, back in the days, credit bureaus used to have that information on the credit reports. They're not allowed to have that no more on the credit report. However, they'll look at your LexisNexis report and find if you have any judgment, liens, or anything like that on you or your personal properties. So this information is still out there, even though it's not collected on the credit bureaus. So, you know, if y'all took notes on these right here, please make sure that you lock those down. All right. So tonight I am not going to do the questions. I know y'all was staring at my screen trying to get ready for the questions. I know y'all get ready to get that free money tonight. They like, no free money tonight, Michelle. And Michelle. And who else was kept winning, Rosie? Michelle or Raquel, yeah. Yeah. You're not getting that money tonight. Look at Michelle.
The L's.
Yes, right. Raquel, tell them.
All right, so tonight, I was real fast for people that's new on the calls. My name is Sabor. I am a real estate investor. I also work as an acquisition manager. I love my business. I love my life. I love trying to teach people. One thing about what happened with me is, you know, like everybody else, I live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make a living for my family. And I just said, hey, something has to give. So I took the skills that I learned, you know, God gives you things in your life at a certain time. So I took the skills that God gave me, and I learned how to make a business out of it. And that business actually created income for me. And I've been trying to teach people basically how to start leveraging their money and their credit in order to build passive income. Is a very, very practical, easy concept. But however, it takes a lot of mental conditioning to break down. So that's why we have our Friday calls every week to hold everybody accountable, because it's easily, you can easily revert back to old ways and habits of banking. So all the peoples in the group, I appreciate y'all always sticking here, and I appreciate y'all listening to me every Friday. I know it gets redundant, but again, this is about accountability and holding each other accountable. All right, so anyways.
Tabor, just before you get started, someone had a question. You were talking about all the reports, and they wanted to know, what about lawsuits? Are they on the reports as well?
Yes, lawsuits is going to be on LexisNexis. That's going to be public records. LexisNexis is going to be your public records. Any kind of judgment, liens, or lawsuits, or anything like that. They actually even have, if you opened up lawsuits, Ed, if you filed a lawsuit against somebody, that is on LexisNexis. Say you file a claim for discrimination, and the attorney is going to ask you, have you ever filed any other lawsuits? If you had a discriminating lawsuit before and you lie on it, they're actually going to use that in court and say, well, your LexisNexis actually says you had an open lawsuit against discrimination. But they're trying to show that you have a pattern of history of opening up lawsuits for the same issues. Sonia have her hand up. Sonia, you have something for me?
I just wanted to ask a question since someone else came in on what you were talking about earlier. So when you said there are 6 other bureaus and stuff, when you like apply for real estate loans or any big type loans, they automatically have access to all of those 6 different bureaus for your information. And
Yeah,
how often do they, like if you're doing real estate, how often do they actually look at all of those? Do they really always look at all of those?
No, they're going to look at those. It depends on which one you look for. So if I open up a checking account, of course, they're going to look at check systems. They're not going to look at my real estate and loan one. It makes no sense. But check systems is for bad debt, any previous banking history, any kind of banking fraud, any type of money order fraud, those type of things. So yeah, but if you're applying for a mortgage, more likely it's going to be Equifax mortgage. Like literally, I was telling somebody, as a matter of fact, I was telling the group, like when I applied for the mortgage that we just sold on this house, they couldn't believe that my DTI was 0. They made me get on the phone 3-way with Equifax mortgage and call each of my credit card. They asked 3 questions. Can you verify his current balance, last payment, and if he had any late payments? Each of my credit cards. Now, remember, I have over $300,000 in personal credit, so I had to call each of my credit cards and verify that information. And they pulled that off of the Equifax mortgage. So that's, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Man, they thought you was falsifying your credit.
They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it, bro. They couldn't believe it. They were like, hold on, this black man ain't got no DTI.
Yeah, black
right
man.
This is like, what is happening right now?
Yep.
They're like, this black man ain't got no DTI. What's going on?
Minorities can't have credit like that.
Yeah. But anyways, so before we, I just want to say again, my name is Sabor. In this program, we're going to teach you the correlation of proper banking. We call it velocity banking. When I first learned this program, it had no name. Or when I learned the strategy, it had no name. We're going to teach you credit building, not just credit building, how important it is about credit profiles. Because most people want to build their credit, get an 800, 850, but there's other things on your credit report that affects your credit, such as addresses, previous addresses. Credit bureaus can't use your race, color, and creed to discriminate, but they can use your zip code. So if you live in a previous bad zip code or have bad zip codes on you, you have to optimize your credit profile. So we're going to teach you how to optimize your credit profiles. I am a real estate investor. There are different businesses on here. We have trucking businesses on here. We have other real estate investors, different type of businesses on here. I appreciate y'all listening to us and being a part of our family and team. But our minds is real estate investors, so we're going to teach you about real estate investing. Why I believe this program is so important, because many people have been taught negative beliefs and habits about money and credit. You know, we all heard, you know, don't ask me for nothing when we go in the store. What do I look like? Money grows on trees. You know, all those type of negative things we heard about money. And not only that, the credit part is that don't get credit, don't utilize credit. You know, you're gonna blow yourself up and stuff like that. You know, all the consumer mindsets. And again, as our declaration says, we are not consumers, we are investors. We use our money to make money. We use our credit to make more money, okay? So I just want to make sure y'all understand that. You know, again, many people are taught cash is king until it's time to purchase that car, that house, even nowadays, job. You can't even apply for a job if you have bad credit. You know, another issue that rises out, you know, with low credit scores for most of us is being denied, you know, the setback, the emotional setback, you know, the feeling of unworthiness and not in things like that. So, you know, I can count the number of times that you had a plan, I had a plan or a goal, and I went to go apply for something, they say denied, or they give you, you know, pre-approval and you thinking you all the way there, and then next thing you know, denied, and they push something out there on you. And a lot of times it comes from that secondary credit bureau, or just something that was BS that just you shouldn't have been denied. So in this program, we try to teach you how to optimize all of these things to make sure that you're never denied. You're always on point. And that's where the term that we coined as financially sexy. You know, you always want to make sure there's no reason for them to be able to deny you besides not having enough banking history with them. You know what I'm saying? So, because my credit is on point, my DTI is on point, my credit profile is optimized. I'm doing everything right. I'm paying my bills off on time. I'm paying all my credit card balances off under keeping my things under 30%. And sometimes you still can get denied, but a lot of times it's just that you haven't had enough banking history with these people, you know? So, but I just want to make sure y'all know that. All right, so.
Tamika has a question.
Yes, Tamika.
And if you could say what DTI is, and then keep using it.
Oh, sorry, debt to income ratio. So it's very important that people know.
Tamika has a question, hon.
Did I not answer it?
No.
No, you didn't. I know I didn't ask it yet.
Oh, okay. Somebody asked what DTI was, debt to income ratio. That just basically means how much debt are you using versus your income, especially when you're applying for a mortgage. They don't want, now they actually upped it because of COVID. You're allowed to have up to 55% of your income in debt. So that's very high numbers, but normally it used to be under 35. So they actually upped it by 20 points. So you can have used 55% of your income can be into debt in order to get pre-approved for a mortgage nowadays. However, when I went in, I had a zero, so they couldn't understand that. So, but go ahead, Tamika.
So the question that I have is, and I know this is for Danielle to answer, but I'm going to ask it since I'm here, is for those 6 secondary, if you were to go ahead and put it like a freeze on your account, then that means that someone cannot see into that credit bureau unless you unfreeze it. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then can you explain what the value of having a frozen secondary bureau is?
Sure. So a lot of times when you're disputing negative information, so a lot of times when you're disputing negative information, what happens is they want to try to, you say, hey, we use what is called a debt validation letter, right? The debt validation says, who are you? Show me something that I owe you money and show me something with my signature on it, right? They cannot legally go to the creditor because they sold that debt to a collection agency, right? So the collection agency is using the secondary credit bureaus to verify that information. Now, if your credit report is locked down, that secondary credit bureau cannot access that information. They have to legally remove that debt because there's not this unverifiable information. So that's why you lock down your second credit bureaus. I always say lock down all your credit bureaus besides your 3 main ones, your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. But any secondary, you can even lock those down there. But the only thing about it, sometimes when you lock down the 3 main ones, you apply for something, forget that lock on there, you can get denied just for the simple fact it's being denied. They say, hey, it's locked, we can't verify, your credit score, If you unlock it, then you can reapply, but now you have to get a new inquiry. So I always tell people, don't lock those 3 down. You know, you can put a security on them. As far as if somebody pull your social security number, you'll get that notification that your social security number is, you know, frozen for identity fraud. However, I wouldn't lock them down. For the 6th one, I would definitely tell you lock them down, because you want not to be your information to be verifiable. You know what I'm saying? When you're applying for something, it's different.
Yeah.
Verifiable in applying for something.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's not in their best interest really to verify the information. It's basically in their best interest to keep information wrong, because then they can try to collect on it. Got it.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Ed has a question.
Yes, Ed. Ed, did you finish that construction on your house yet? Ed, you're muted, Ed.
He's muted. You're muted, Ed.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I hear you. I'm Ed. Sorry.
I wanted to make a comment on that stolen identity. I had a case of that. And so I went to the police station, I filed all the papers and everything. And of course, they didn't have anything with my signature on it. You know, I didn't even know about that then. But after that was resolved, they asked me, who do you think did this? You know, I mean, it's their job to track it down, but they asked me, you know. I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it happened to my mom like that. My mom is the worst. She would leave her purse and stuff in her car and leave her door unlocked. She actually went inside a gas station with her purse still in the car. Some kids took off on her car and blew up her car. They had her car. My mom lived in Philly. They found her car all the way in Delaware. And come to find out, they blew all her credit cards up and things like. It took us years to get that stuff off, like literally years. So yeah.
So another question, Sabor, when you lock down the LexisNexis, it prevents you from being found by certain credit bureaus. That's what happened when this person applied for the Amazon card. They said that they couldn't find her.
As long as your main 3 was unlocked, I don't see why they pulling LexisNexis to verify who you are. Is that what you're saying? Who's asking that? I'm sorry, I don't see that.
The main 3 were not locked.
And they could not find the information off LexisNexis. They couldn't verify her. Did they ask you for a verification? You know, somebody actually in our group had something like that. They actually transfer addresses in their same building, and they had to send over a verification form because they couldn't find them on LexisNexis, I think it was. I'm not sure about that. Honestly, I don't know. Again, I just like knocking my 6 secondary credit bureaus down because I don't want them to be able to prove anything. If they wanted me to send them a verification form or something with my addresses or some kind of bill, I definitely would give you that, but I don't want you having access to all of my information. Again, anybody on here that have never seen a LexisNexis, please order your LexisNexis report and let us know with the group when you get it. It's about B. You got yours? Who has a LexisNexis report?
Yeah.
Isn't this thing about this big?
Man, it's my whole biographical life.
It's like ridiculous, man.
It was like 50-some pages.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you don't have one, order one, lock your thing down. Once you see the information on it, you wouldn't. It's no brainer to lock it down.
She said that they had told her to unlock the report.
I mean, if they're going to use the same inquiry, I'll unfreeze it just so you can verify who I am. But as soon as I finish whatever I have to do, I'll definitely tell you put the lock back on it, put the freeze back on it. I mean, they're going to do that too. If you lock down your 3 major credit bureaus and you go apply something, they're going to tell you have to unfreeze it in order for them to see it. Again, you just unfreeze it, give them the code, and verify the code. And if you ever do freezing, they're going to give you a code. Make sure you keep that code. But there's one hard thing to get that code again if you lose it.
So
another thing.
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to try and get through the presentation.
It's fine.
And certainly your coaches can answer, some of the questions as well. So when you're on with your coaches, they can answer as well.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
The secondary credit bureaus get very, very topicky, y'all. I apologize. It's really, really real. So you got to talk to your coaches about it. They have all the information, same as I do. But yeah, it gets real. It can be a long conversation here. Brian, but you wanted to end something with that though about the secondary before I get to the next topic. I heard you started.
No, I was gonna just say that sometimes you gotta if you have a freeze on your primaries, you sometimes I know especially like with Equifax, cause they slow. Sometimes you may have to give it like 24 hours if you have a freeze on any of your credit bureaus. You may have to give your credit, give it like a day after you unfrozen it before you apply for credit. That's all.
Okay, appreciate you. All right, so anyway, this week I wanted to talk about what financially sexy is and how it's important. We all heard me talk about, we are financially sexy. We want to be financially sexy. Financially sexy, it just basically means we are financially sound. Most people would think financially sexy is mean, money in the bank, or having large things, or having, those are things come after you make yourself financially sexy, right? But do we want to be or have the appearance of being financially sexy? So I just want to make sure that we all know for our group, when we say the term financially sexy, that people actually know, how do we get to that point of being financially sexy? How do we get started now and to actually get ourselves to create passive income by looking financially sexy? How do we create generational wealth by looking financially sexy? So again, we all heard the term financially sexy. We all may have different interpretations, especially the ones that's on our private Facebook group page. We asked this question, what was financially sexy this week? And we got different responses. However, again, we want to give a clear understanding what the term means and how it applies to creating passive income and generational wealth. Financially sexy, again, simply means you look or you are financially sound, meaning that you constantly make good financial decisions that increase your net worth, okay? You're able to maintain this state for an unseeable future. The Debt Weapon program is teaching you how to maintain your financial sexiness for an unseeable future, okay? The terms also relate or state that your overall financial status, it can be used to describe individual decisions that you make with your finances. For example, we've talked about this before, people having large sums of money saved, $10,000, $30,000, because the banking system told us to save. However, they have like triple that or double that in outstanding debt. So if I have $10,000 saved and I got $20,000 in debt, how does that make sense? So this is why the decisions that we make actually contribute to what we say is financially sexy or financially sound. Most people are even aware that credit is a major part of their net worth. Most people, if you ask somebody what is net worth, they'll say, oh, they hear, from rappers and other athletes that net worth they think is, paintings, assets, those things like that. But nobody really ever considered credit as being part of net worth, So having a large lines of credit is actually important to you. Anybody knows about a black card on here? A black card is a unlimited charge card, right? That actually adds to those 1% net worth. So credit actually adds to your net worth. Anybody's in the program now, you've seen it now, as you build your credit, your credit utilization and your credit lines, you increases your net worth, and that way you're able to leverage that money to do bigger and better things, right? So same thing, when I learned this system, I didn't know anything about credit. I didn't know anything about having large lines of credit and how it actually can create my net worth. The larger your lines of credit are, the more money you're able to take off those lines of credit to leverage, to buy assets, businesses, put it back into your family to create passive income, anything that's going to generate wealth, right? So that's why it's important to have large lines of credit. And that's why it goes towards creating passive income and looking financially sexy. You gotta look financially sexy. All right. So in order to reach this status, you must be aware of your finances. Again, not just your credit scores, but your credit profiles and how they affect your day-to-day activity. Being in control of your finances and making wise decisions will get you to the right path of becoming financially sexy. Achieving high levels of financial security takes a lot of diligence, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of patience. But the good news is, no matter what your circumstances may be, you can start today to make better decisions with your money and credit. With each financially sound decision you make, you're one step closer to achieving greater security and stability for your family here, okay? All right, so I just want to go real fast how I started. And it's not really a lot of slides here. I just want to tell you how I got started, and maybe it can push something on you, or maybe you can find something from what I've done to actually help you here, okay? So we always talked about this before. The number one thing is to know thy numbers, right? Know thy numbers mean a lot to the people in the program. For those that's new on the call, know thy numbers just basically means you have to know your income, you have to know your expenses. Minus those two, you get your cash flow. What we do in this program is very simple. Once we know what our cash flow is, our money is, how much we have left over, we leverage our lines of credit by taking that money off that line of credit and doing what is called a chunk payment onto our amortized loans. We use our cash flow, and I know I'm talking fast, but we use our cash flow to pay back that line of credit so we can rinse and repeat again. We want our lines of credit to be liquid, and we're just using our cash flow. So it's very simple concept. I know it takes a lot of due diligence, and that's why we have our coaches here to definitely help you to go along with this process. And once you start seeing these things fall off, it's just like a no-brainer. Right, Nikosha? I know Nikosha on the line. Nikosha is one of our youngest members. She's paid up everything almost. She gets like one card left.
Yes, that's right.
So you've paid off how many credit cards and one car, right?
Yeah, I had paid off my car and 3 credit cards.
Nice. And you just have one left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you. Welcome to the big leagues. All right. So again, know thy numbers is basically taking your monthly expenses minus your income. I'm sorry, your income minus your monthly expenses, make your net cash flow. There are apps out there like Mints, Personal Capital to help you track your finances. This will give you an idea of your money that you spend. However, in our program, we have what is called a special cash flow cruncher. Our coaches normally use it, but they also have a budget spreadsheet that they give to each client when they come in. And they have the cash flow crunchers when they have a one-on-one meeting to show their current standings, updates, that we can actually create plans for them to show which loans or which amortized or what debt they need to pay off. So everybody's have access to, what's going on, the coaches and the clients have access to where they need to go, their plans and their homework assignments and things like that. The next one is credit. We just talked about credit, but you have to stay informed of your credit scores. Your credit scores is a number that tells a lender how likely or unlikely you may default on a loan, right? So keeping your credit score healthy will help you when you apply for lending in the future. This can be achieved by monitoring credit cards, spending habits, and always paying on time, blah, blah, blah. Y'all already know most of the stuff like that. But again, at the bottom, I spoke at earlier, another thing that most people neglect about their credit is the credit profiles. Different variations of name, addresses, employers, social security numbers, again, variations of names and social security numbers. Most people are not aware of those things that actually make up their credit profile and actually can hurt them in the long run when they start applying for lending. All right, so next one to me was important to me because, setting a goal actually gives you an outline, a drive that you need to obtain this. Rosie said something about last week, how I don't like to procrastinate. That was actually a goal of mine. I used to be a procrastinator. So now when things get in front of me, I'm like, no, I cannot wait. I have to do it now. Because if I wait later, I'm going to forget about it. Like me and Rochelle, we were supposed to sit down earlier today, and I'm like, I have to do it now, Rochelle. I'm sorry, I'm not going to have time. I have to do it now. I don't have my computer, but we can talk about them, you know. So if I procrastinate, it's going to be pushed off, and I'll forget about it. So, you know, and that comes for me. That was a goal of mine. So, you know, setting goals help you take control, you know, and here I put it, help you take control of your finances. So you should set both short-term and long-term financial goals, you know, and achieve them, you know, set your time frame when you want to achieve them, set your time frame. I know me and Nicole with her coach, you know, Nicole, when she's only been in the program for 2 months now, probably less than a month or so, but she came in, she wanted to pay off debt. And in January, she wanted to make sure she had good enough credit standing. Her DTI was low, that she can actually buy her own house in her state of Texas, you know? So, you know, set those goals, make small goals, achieve those small milestones. You know, the young lady paid off a car and paid off 3 credit cards and only have 1 left that she's actually, now you think about it, her DTI just dropped all the way down. Now she's able to leverage her credit to buy her own personal property. You know, that makes sense. So you have to set those small goals, you know. So that's what, anyways, I put in here a few goals that may help you achieve financial security and become financially sound, or sexy, as we like to call it. Increases your lines of credit. That's all, you know, your coaches tell you. We always say it on this call, always ask for your credit line increases every 3 months. You want to reduce your credit card debt. If you have any credit card debt, you want to get it to under 30%. Optimized credit scores is going to be under 10%. You know, so then if you have any home loans or any other type of student loans, I think I heard a young lady say she has student loans, you know, you want to try to pay those down as much as possible. Again, of course, our goal is to help you increase your monthly income by teaching you real estate investing or creating passive income. Then having steady streams of income that you can rely on in the future. Lastly, one of your goals to, you know, do the research. I am big on numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I always try to put numbers up on the group to make sure it makes sense to everybody. But, you know, don't take my word for it. Don't take your coach's word for it. Do your own research. Like Rosie said, you want to make sure you feel sound and secure, and, you know, that your higher power has your, you know, your well-being, yourself and well-being. So make sure you do your own research. Again, create your financial plans and goals that align with your goals and values. Your coaches would definitely help you in our program to help you set those goals and things like that. All right, so of course, pay off debt. Now, you know, these are the things that I had in plan. These are all my actual goals when I first started this program. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows these are mine, but I definitely was telling you to try to implement as many of these things that you can in your life, okay? So, you know, paying off your debt should be a very top priority. If it's not, and this is what I'm going to say here, I know that people have loans. If you have loans, the loans need to be last. You want to pay off your revolving lines of credit for credit cards, HELOCs, those type of things, because in this program, you want to learn, you want to use those lines of credit because that money is revolving to pay those off. If I pay off a loan first and I still have money on my line of credit, that means I need to find more money to pay off the line of credit now, right? But if I use, if you learn the program, and everybody knows in the program know what I'm talking about, if I pay off my lines of credit, I'm able to leverage those to pay off those amortized loans, okay? So you want to make sure you start paying off debts, you know, student loans, car loans, and stuff like that. But you definitely want to pay down your lines of credit first, okay? Of course, your progress will be slow if you continue to create debt. You know, it's not enough to just pay your minimum balance every month while you continue to charge on shopping sprees. Our program, and I always say this, is teach people how to make payoffs and not payments. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been conditioned and they wait till that monthly statement come in and they see the payment due date and the minimum balance that's due. You know, we're doing the envelope licking and putting this to the side and putting this coupon with a little $25 that need to be paid on this card, $100 need to be paid on this card, and, you know, $50. No, we're not doing that. We're teaching you how to make payoffs. We need to pay off these things and showing you how to leverage your credit to pay these things off. Now, paying these things off, you may feel like you're losing the money, but you're just changing the vehicle because, again, these lines of credit are recyclable. They're actually being used, rinse and repeat, used again. Okay, so again, come up with an aggressive plan to pay off these debts. Once you pay off these debts, you're being aggressive with it. And a lot of people in this program that paid off debts and was aggressive with it, that money comes back into your household because now you have freed up cash flow, right? You have freed up money that you were normally paying on debt. Okay. So, however, there are several ways you can tackle debts. Two popular ones that I hear people talk about is the snowball effect or the avalanche effect. We're going to teach our method in this program, which we call chunking. Chunking is the method that we use in the debt weapon program to pay off debts at accelerated rate. And this one I think is very important to me. And this is my last slide of the night so we can go back into those discussions we were having. Is to make sure you change your habits and thoughts. Me, I'm an affirmation guy. I get up every morning. I listen to positive affirmations. I listen to money affirmations. I listen. I'm a spiritual person. So I listen to my religious beliefs. I don't push religious beliefs on anybody on the calls and things like that. Your beliefs are your beliefs, but I definitely am. I believe in a higher power. So I listen to affirmations. I read books about finances. I do everything that I possibly can to educate myself and to be better for not only for you all, but for my family and other people. I had young men moving furniture in the house today for me, and they're like, man, normally, man, I've never seen anybody give out free game like this, man. I appreciate y'all, so it's definitely very important that you change your thoughts and habits about money, change your thoughts and habits about any kind of negative beliefs, that you have. I always tell them, I'm a hashtag guy. I always say I make winning a habit. So even when things are bad and things are going wrong in my life, I try to find the good in the underlying, the good in all that. Rosie always say, you can't look hindsight, you gotta look 2020, you can't look behind you. So I just try to find the underlying issues, try to find something that stabilizes something good in my life to make it all worth it. So it came with me changing my habits and thoughts. You got to find things that seem like, procrastination is a major thing. You got to find out things that you do that you need to change, and how can you change those things, change those habits, change those financial habits, change those negative thoughts that you have about even yourself. They used to get mad at me. I used to say, I don't care. I'm saying the N-word. I'm an ugly N-word, but I got money. And they were like, stop saying that. So, you got to change the way you think and stuff like that. You got to change it in order for you to be successful. But with that, I'm just going to end. Anybody that's new on our program, we charge $99 a month for individual and $149 for couples. We do have a youth program from 16 to 25. The classes are once a month. They do not get one-on-one coaching. They do get to join the other youth that's on the call on Tuesdays. It's at Tuesday night at 7, every other Tuesday at 7. These kids are amazing. I mean, they are amazing. I'm so proud of them. Most of them all already in the 700 club. They're velocity banking. They don't have all the negative and the conditioning that we've had as adults. So I really enjoy them. They keep me laughing. I mean, it's a good fun time on the calls with them. We do still do the same thing, questions and answers, and for money. And of course, as you can imagine, they are very competitive. They be like, tap in, bro, tap in. They're very competitive. So we do have a youth. It's only $20 a month, but again, they don't get the personal one-on-one coaches that the adults do, but they do get to interact with other youth and share good times and tips and things that they've done. And again, if you have any youth that you're looking to join or speaking to kids about creating a financial future in education, definitely tap in with Rosie, and she will help you get them set up for the Tuesday calls. Anybody else has any questions before?
I just want to make sure the $99 a month and the $149 for the couples is for the debt weapon, the credit repair, all of that. And then we have other programs as well that extends beyond that if you're interested in starting a business and if you want to get into real estate. So there's actually 3 tiers, but the first one that we always start with is the debt weapon velocity banking to teach you how to do that, because it's extremely important that you know how to do that before you start your business and also get into investing more in real estate.
Yes, I try to explain this. You know, some people want to come in and go directly into, business or into real estate, but they still have outstanding debt, nor do they know how to use our strategies that we use in this program to pay off our debts at accelerated rate. So all they're going to do is start ballooning debt on both sides, business and personal side. It hurts us as a partnership when we're ready to do new deals and we're not able to move forward. So it's very important that we actually start with the foundation of this program before we move over to different programs. Now, there are people in this group that's ready for new programs. Me and Rosie are going to sit down. I've been running around. I told her, I said, I feel so bad. She's going to be like, support sucks. But I'm going to sit down with Rosie and we're going to start talking about the people that actually we can start pulling partnerships with and moving forward on different things and moving people to different programs that we have available. But yeah. Anyways, I am done speaking. Anybody have any questions about any of the things I talked about tonight, especially about looking financially sexy? Because again, being financially sexy is very, 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 very important. One thing that happens to a lot of us is not having the know-how or the education. Everything that we teach in this program has actually been life experiences. Those are the things that I've actually dealt with. If you ask me something I don't know about, I'm definitely going to tell you I don't know it. I'm talking about life experience of how I leveraged, how I went from the mud to where I'm at now. We've heard people say, yeah, I got it out the mud. Ed, you would speak with Rosie. I see your message. Rosie is at DeMary Funding, or you can send her a direct message and she can give you her contact information. Eddie, I'm sorry, it's Eddie. Is that Ed or Eddie? Is that the same person?
No, my name's Eddie. I am actually a friend of Rochelle and Armando. They told me to get on this call, and so I did it. Today's my first call, so I just wanted to
welcome.
see how to
Why you didn't introduce yourself earlier? Hello.
I don't know. I was shy.
Don't be shy. We're family here.
Eddie's like family to us. Eddie and Kayla, we love them dearly.
Okay, don't be shy. We're family.
Eddie is a gem. He is such a beautiful person. He's a hard worker. He's an amazing person. Amazing. Welcome.
So Eddie, tell us about yourself, man. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name's Eddie. I am 23 years old. I bought my first house at 21. I own a business and I am actually working on my real estate license. I just have to take my real estate exam now. And then I want to get into real estate investing. So I'm just kind of testing the waters and trying to figure out how to be financially sexy.
Nice. Yeah, you want to definitely learn how to be the bank instead of actually just investing in real estate. Sometimes it can come with a headache being the renting or leasing out properties, but you learn about seller financing or contract for deeds, you're definitely going to be ahead of the game if you go into the real estate school. What kind of business do you have?
Right now it's just solar. So I run a solar business. I'm a private contractor for major corporations, more like a broker.
Okay.
And I just find the deals and close them.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Is it hard? So it's all commercial, or is it residential that you're doing?
Mine's all residential. No, it's pretty easy. I have too much time on my hands, so that's why I'm working on my real estate license and I just had a kid. He's 8 months, so this year. And thank you. Yeah, so I'm trying to do whatever I can, just to set up, for my kid's future and my future, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely reach out to Rosie. She would give you a lot of direction, especially a lot of free game about what to do with the babies, man. It's very important that we start building passive income for the babies now. So
yeah,
happen to us, we can leave something for our children, well, welcome. And I definitely look forward to speaking with you, in the future, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else new on the call tonight? I'm sorry that didn't get to introduce themselves.
I am.
I'm sorry.
I am.
Hi, Marina.
Sorry, it's under my daughter's name, but I'm Amy.
Hi,
so. Hi, and I'm also here. Rochelle told me to join, so I just thought I would join and get educated over here.
Group.
So tell us about yourself.
So I'm just trying to get into owning homes, and then just pretty much just trying to get my debt out of my way, so that way we could be debt free and kind of just own a home eventually. So
Okay.
that's where we're sitting at.
Do you know your current, current credit profile good, bad, or are you okay to get pre-qualified for a mortgage? Like, what's in your way?
So I'm pre-qualified. It's just more about like just knowing to budget and just being comfortable, being able to afford it and not be house poor, in other words. So just kind of educating myself that way.
Well, we definitely can show you how to pay off your mortgage in 7 years or less. It's depending on your cash flow, and we can definitely show you how to increase your cash flow. So,
absolutely, that would be nice. I've learned a lot tonight.
Well, welcome. We do have YouTube videos of our past sessions. If you ever want to tap in, you can go to YouTube and just look up my name, Sabor DeMary, and you can see all of our past previous sessions here. We try to make it, family oriented. Sometimes it get quiet on the phones. People listen to me. I sound like I'm preaching, but last week, Rosie did a session. She had everybody communicating. She had more likes and comments than anything. I was so mad. I was jealous. They'll never do that with me. But we try to make sure we're family oriented, and we keep our doors open for any questions. So you can always stop if you have any questions while we're speaking. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I am. This is Armando. I'm new on the iPhone here, so I'm just listening. And I want to congratulations to all that joined us tonight. We've been trying to get these people to really look at what we're doing, because obviously it makes a lot of sense, and it's going to help them get to what they want to do, secure their future, and give them the opportunities that they're being held back on right now. So congratulations to both Eddie and Amy, and if Mikey, if he's in the background, that's good too as well.
Well, and Armando, congratulations to you too, man. I heard you see the 800 club. You high 800s too, man.
It just, we just keep doing the same thing. Just keep doing it, and it seems to be working. We got the additional credit now with the Navy Federal credit, and really excited about that, because that's going to give us more opportunity to keep moving on these real estate transactions. I know that we're continuously looking, and I'm sure that this is a matter of time where the right one's going to fall in the right spot, and we'll be able to get on that one. So we're ready.
Yeah, we got 3 of them. We put offers in.
Yeah, I think we put in 2. I think 2, and possibly she was looking at a 3rd one as well. I think, but we're whatever comes up, let's get it moving. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I told her make sure we brought Rosie into the loop on that one, because I know we've been communicating just ourselves, so I had to bring her back into the loop, because I'll be missing in action. Rochelle be looking for me. I'm like, we gotta bring Rosie back into the loop. I can't handle it all.
That's right. I'll send everything to Rosie.
Yeah. And also, you paid down the HELOC, right?
Yes, we're about to. We have very little left on our current one, but we're about to switch it over to the Navy Credit Union, because that's going to work more effective for us.
Nice, nice.
And that it'll be all handled in one account versus how right now we're having to back and forth. So, but you know what, we're fixing it. It'll all work just fine.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate
whatever we got to do.
Yeah, well, I appreciate y'all for listening to us and following the steps. Y'all been one of the easiest of all of our clients. Well, all of our clients are actually easy. I appreciate y'all, everybody on that call. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make what I do so much better, and make me feel like I started this program for a reason. And all your successes is just I'm humbled. I'm very humbled by all y'all success. Thank y'all.
Everybody, if you can, put in the chat. Thanks, Sabor. Man, drop the bombs in there for him. Come on in the chat.
Yeah, I'm very humbled by all y'all success. I'm very proud of everybody, especially you, Michelle. You quiet, but you quiet tonight.
You're not offering the money, that's why.
Yeah, she mad at me. What's wrong, Michelle? You mad at me?
Absolutely not.
Okay, how's that homework coming along?
It's coming.
Okay. Make sure you reach out to me if you have any questions on it.
I sure will.
All right. What Telly, he at work?
He's
All right,
on.
Deborah.
Oh, Telly, you have any questions? Thank you, Rosie. You're the best.
No, I'm good.
All right. I miss you, man.
Yeah, I've just been busy at work.
No, I got you. How's the North Carolina trip?
It was great. It was great. My grandmother's 90th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
Blessings right there. Blessings.
Beautiful
Yes,
blessing.
sir.
All right. Well, you guys, I don't want to hold everybody up. If anybody have any questions going over the topics or anything that you want to talk about before we get off, because sometimes you have questions somebody else holding back wanting to know, or you may ask a question that somebody may was thinking about before we get off this phone call tonight.
I just want to say I really enjoyed tonight. I love talking about finance. I have like 4 questions, so I don't want to keep everybody on. It's Friday night. So I'm going to, after listening to everything you talked about and stuff, I have lots of questions.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to connect back with my sister Danielle and Rosie and you as well, because technically you're like my brother.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So I'll be connecting, guys. I really enjoyed tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
All
Looking
right,
like
now.
Danielle.
But Rosie, it's all yours. Everybody have a good week. I love you all and be safe, okay?
All right, everybody, unmute yourself. Everybody say, I'm doing it now.
I'm doing it now.
Right now. Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
That's right.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
you guys.
Good night.
Wait to see you next week.
Next
Bye.
week.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.